take down the 2-0 and advance to the next round where they will face Cloud9. I misspoke before the break. That'll be the matchup in the next round. So here we are getting into draft for Game 2. Team Liquid going over to the blue side.
Oh.
And I'm just going to say it. I think that going into Game 2, I'll double down. Isurus, this is their chance to strike. The Ziggs is gone. The Pantheon's gone. Even Sejuani's gone. We know that UmTi hasn't played Sejuani yet this year, but we still know it's in his champion pool, so it's expected that at some point we will see it. So they're going to have to go a little deeper into that champ pool. And they won't have as many tricks because Pantheon can get around the map super fast. Ziggs can take turret super fast. Those are kind of two cheesier strategies that they will not have available anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't call moving around the map and taking turrets cheese strategies.
Look, I like some bread and butter League of Legends, Emily.
Is that just team fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. But I'm 10 times more boring than you are. And I like when TL are allowed to kind of showcase their map play, right? And their map knowledge. And I think there's still a lot of available champions, Corki being the first one, and I'm thinking off the top of my head that A, we've seen them flex bot side to have Yeon play it, but also B was, I think, one of APA's more impactful champions last year, and they used it in a very similar way, right? Where it's like, okay, we're pushing out mid, we're trying to get Corki up against turrets to either poke the enemy away from them so we can take it, or just take it in side lanes. So I'm still looking, and I will be curious to see if they do prioritize something like that for APA to, you know, use a similar strategy and use something they're comfortable with.
Sure. And even just taking a step back, I heard your reaction, Emily. Don't run away from the reaction. Surprised that it seems like Estral chose to go red side.
Yes.
So the choice to go red side.
I apologize. It is Estral on blue side.
Oh, okay.
Your hand.
Jeff.
You're getting us.
I was about to be really confused because I was like, I'm glad I didn't mention it in
the way it works in a best of 3 is they will decide, because they were the number 1 seed in the first game they got to choose, and then the loser of the game gets to choose the next game. So they get the choice essentially 2 games in a row from their seed and then from the loss. And they chose both times.
Yeah, Estral will be staying on blue side.
Yeah.
That does make a little more sense.
That being said, you're right. I think Corki is the prio pick that you would want to go for. Cassante would still be available. That was a first ban from Isurus Estral, so like that could be something that is let go if they're more willing to play into Cassante matchups and getting the counter. And knowing Burdol well, like he can play counters into Cassante quite comfortably. So that is where I would be interested in seeing, maybe playing around him a little bit more, because his Mbessa was great, and I love seeing him play on side.
But it's important to note that Mbessa and Rumble are both off the table now, so that counter pick champ pool is a little limited, especially if Team Liquid's able to ban some of those away. So we'll have to wait and see what actually happens as the players are getting ready to hop in. Yeon, he's locking
ready.
in.
He's ready over
He's getting focused.
I want to know, as we wait for Champ Select to pop up, how close to actual sleep do you think? Because, like, I cannot fall asleep that quickly.
Oh.
That's impressive.
You're talking to the sleep expert
I know.
here.
So
how do you do it?
How close was Yeon in that moment? Was that the question?
Or how close do you think a player has actually gotten to doing the pregame nap?
You want my secret?
Yes.
Early in my life, iron deficiency.
I have an iron deficiency.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to be honest, I was asleep before this pick ban.
For what it's worth, knowing Yeon, you can get very close to sleeping.
There it is.
And I would also, to answer your question, Emily, I bet you a player has actually fallen asleep before the game.
Wait, didn't Dyrus actually do that?
Well, you can definitely, that state of sleep where any noise will wake you up, but you're kind of zoned out.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see players getting to that stage of sleep, especially someone like Yeon, who when he's in real tournament form is playing like 25 games a day and not having the correct amount of sleep.
Yeah.
I believe he has improved that in recent years.
Not even to talk about nutrition.
It wouldn't surprise me that as soon as you close your eyes, you're ready to go to sleep.
Wow,
okay, I
that's
remember
crazy.
a clip of Dyrus during a pause, bringing his head back up and looking drowsy. Do we not think he was asleep in that moment?
I mean, I've seen
15.
so many players do that.
How am I supposed to remember that?
Well, it was a big moment.
Okay.
All right. Shout out to the Dyrus fans out there.
Shout out to y'all.
I mean, they also used to look at Mireu from KT Rollster and talk about how he always had this pregame nap because he'd be like lean back in his chair. And
Guy looked like he was Now look, you look like a sleepy individual, all right?
Are you attacking my team? My
Yes.
legacy player?
Yes, because your team is a sleepy team as well.
Oh my god, my team is not even in it anyway.
Every one of your teams,
I'm not
Boston
mad.
teams.
I'm not mad. Let the record show
All right,
I'm not
all right.
mad.
You're definitely pissed. All right.
Slept through the last series.
True,
That's
I'm very pissed.
I want to ask you a question because yes, we're waiting to get a pick and ban, so we're just kind of talking about what I'm seeing on screen here. I saw APA's mustache a few screens ago. Does he have to shave 2 if they lose
No.
the
He's
series?
just gonna say no.
No?
Yeah.
I think I could pressure him.
I will
I can get him.
say the thing about APA that I learned on pros.
Yeah.
I think it was the episode you did, Raz, where they were trying to get Sniper to do the bet too, and Sniper's just like no. But APA was down. Like he seemed down. Like
for sure
he was
down.
like I'll do it.
He's,
Fine.
yeah, he's for
Look,
sure down.
I'm going to message Ian right now on
He's not
social
going to
and just
see
say,
it.
He's not
hey.
gonna answer you.
Well, yeah, he's not going to
stage.
answer now, but then after the game, he'll see it.
Okay.
And we'll hopefully get an answer going into the next one.
He's definitely someone who's so much more committed to the game that he cares that little about his head hair or his face hair.
Yeah.
Because he just shaved his head last year because it was convenient.
Yeah.
He was just tired of it getting in the way. So
oh my God!
there.
The God! Whoa!
Hey, you! I remember that game.
You were a part of that.
No.
It was a bad draft.
Who was the drafter,
Yeah.
It
Are you
was me.
blaming yourself?
I am. It was bad. So it doesn't mean they're better.
Yes.
It means they had a better draft.
Oh.
Let's just get
What
out in
was
front
the
of it.
draft like? Explain
Okay.
it to me.
From memory,
Yeah.
Ashe Thresh bot
Yeah.
with a TF mid,
Okay.
and then I believe Renekton top,
Yeah.
and something else that also doesn't do damage and has CC like Volibear or some crap.
Yeah.
So they just built 5 pairs of Merc Treads and we lost.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It wasn't good. But
unfortunate.
the other thing is, that's the only game we lost in the entire play-in stage. We still advanced, they didn't, which does make Team Liquid better.
Oh my god.
So we're finally in the draft.
I like
we'll
the
see if
callback,
Team Liquid
though.
is better today.
Cassante
All right.
is the pick that could go through.
One thing or two things I actually see removed: the Corki, so they cannot flex that, which I think is a good ban from Isurus, and then also Jace, another champion that you would be able to use in a very similar way.
And that's the thing, like, I think you're now, forced to ban the Jace simply because I would say, or the Cassante, because Jace is pretty good in that situation now. The Jax is available. You can go towards Jax if you're comfortable in doing so, but I think Impact has pretty large champion pool to counter pick, so it's not going to be a priority pick here.
Yeah, and I think as we see the Vi locked in for Josedeodo, that should be interesting. I also think Impact is probably like they don't want them to first pick the Cassante, especially knowing that Estral is going to be a team that does want a potential lane swap advantage, and Cassante does so well in those situations as well.
Already, we saw this in last series, but the Poppy Taliyah combo to counter the Vi dash. Now, I mean, this is a little early to lock this in though, because Estral can now kind of counter that and just pick poke, just pick range. It's kind of difficult for these champions to get on top of champions that outrange them. And yeah, like Ashe, non-committal engage, I think that's a great pickup.
Ashe Braum coming in, really good response. On the Taliyah point, I do think this is yet another champion with which APA is so proficient on that they are willing to lock it in this early because of that.
And one of the things that Team Liquid discussed on Pros last week is that with Swiffer joining the team, they have been trying to expand their champion pools a lot in practice, and that leads to growing pains. And they were also trying to use some of those champions on stage. It does look like that has stopped for now.
Yeah.
The Azir was one that they were adding to their pool that obviously got picked by Isurus Estral in game 1, so now it's banned in Fearless. And because, as Emily mentioned, Ziggs Taliyah being the first 2, that is the most comfortable for AP.
Yeah.
I would want an Ahri ban here. I think it works really well with Vi, and I think it makes it really difficult for Taliyah to play on sides. Victor ban, I guess they just want consistent DPS down, but I think it would be a really good pickup here for Mireu.
I do think, though, because the Poppy Taliyah is already locked in, they're less scared of the Dash champions and more scared of just the Death Ball 5v5, which they're starting to construct with the Ashe Braum. So I actually like the Victor ban.
I do too. Maybe a Hui ban coming in here as well if they're really worried about things that can outrange them too and just be a menace in team fights.
It always stinks in these scenarios because you have Poppy and Taliyah that are just great flexes.
Yeah.
So it's going to make it really difficult for Estral in this moment. But if you know or confident going into UmTi then you should be pretty comfortable knowing that that's likely going to be, like you said, a Taliyah mid, Poppy top, something like, or Poppy support, something like that. We'll have to see if that's the case, though.
Yeah, not like the Gragas ban coming through. Gragas has so much displacement, which would kind of ruin a lot of what the skeleton of this team composition. The Renekton, something that Impact is like infinitely comfortable on in a lot of situations, would be a good blind pick for him. So I like that ban coming out.
That is interesting.
Estral as well.
I would have expected more of a jungle pick here to save top lane counter pick for the last, which is why I see the Gragas ban from Team Liquid. They want to take away one of the safer blind picks, but oh, I'm wrong. It's actually Jax locked in now.
Well, in this case, they can still hold if they really wanted to. They're holding one of their flexes, as Raz mentioned, but the Poppy flex is pretty much gone. That means it's going to be Poppy Kai'Sa bot, which is safe enough knowing that they know exactly what they're going up against in Ashe Braum.
And it's just one of the best lane swapping top laners at the moment, the Jax that is. With K'Sante being gone, and of course what happened in the first draft through Fearless, Aurora being picked up, this is great playmaking. So a lot of great playmaking in trying to get to the back line with both Aurora and Vi, and you have Ashe ulti, so there's going to be a lot of fear there if you're AP and Yeon going into this game.
And I almost think, I mean, you can put the Aurora top if you want to into that Jax. Let's see what they actually lock in. No, with the Braum already, they're just playing around with it here. It's Gangplank!
I like the GP pick. It's fun.
Burdol Gangplank into Jax. This is going to be a fun matchup. Haven't seen Gangplank in quite a while.
How illegal is that going to be into Jax? We'll have to see if he can survive the early lane swap, because he's going to be very squishy for a large portion of the early game. And Team Liquid has a lot of dive that can get on top of the GP. So it's a bold pick right there, but there were a lot of bans against him already, and he knew he was going up against the Jax.
Yeah, already I feel like the level 1, as they lock in the Rakan, is going to be really interesting. I'm interested in what the casters have to say about this, especially the GP pick. Go ahead, guys.
Thank you, Desk over there in the north. We're down here in the south, but we're still from the north, so we still count.
Okay, and taking me on a little journey here, Azale. I like
geography.
it. Yeah,
geography.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's up? Hey, everyone. We are looking to see if TL can clean this one up, or if Isurus Estral will get the south on the board. Honestly, I want to see them do it. 8-0 just feels kind of mean.
Same. Honestly, I just want a full 3 games.
Yeah.
Because we've had all 2 O's. We need to make the most of the energy that this crowd has.
Exactly.
They've been shaking our booth. It's good. Keep us on our toes.
It is very good. It's been fun to be here, and I'm going to be excited to see how the GP pick will work out. I do think GP plus Aurora is a pretty good combo here.
Yeah, and the GP into the Jax is a classic matchup there for the GP, so we'll see how well he can pilot it. I mean, Keen and Kingin both played it decently recently.
Yeah.
But
I worry about swaps.
Yeah, we'll see about the swaps. We'll see, because he's kind of squishy early, but does a really nice scaling and huge damage potential, chaining barrels and stuff late game onto a Taliyah or something like that can be very devastating. And then you look at the rest of the team, and it's so much dive from them that if you had Gangplank ultimate plus all the Aurora and Vi heavy dive in there, then could be explosive.
And Jose and APA already back at it. APA says GLHF, and Jose says /mute TLAPA.
Honestly, that is a wise choice.
That is a really wise choice. You should have him muted 100%. And, you know, when I associate GP with certain players, it's always GP specialists, people that play this champion all the time, that have put in so much practice. This is Burdol's first competitive game on GP. So we'll see how much practice he has put in, how comfortable he's going to be on it, especially if you get stuck in a lane swap where you're going to be in a difficult situation. He's likely anticipating that with the D shield. I mean, you can do things like W start and whatnot, but then it's tough.
At this preparation for a surprise counter, but the trigger for the surprise counter does not come through on the invade towards Raptors. It is to the other side of the map, so they're just going to ward up the blue Gromp.
Yeah, we'll see if they are going to be able to find this swap. TL, I think, would be very happy to be putting Burdol in that really difficult position. You know, not only are you missing out on gold and experience, but you're also not getting your stacks to be able to actually buy the upgrades, right? You're not actually getting the, I don't even know what they're called, the bullions, the gold coins, whatever they are. You need 5 silver serpents, maybe something. Yeah. Silver serpents. So we're gonna go with that. You need 500 of them to be able to get your upgrades, and those are actually really, really impactful, especially the Death's Daughter. Obviously, we don't see a lot of GP these days, so you don't really talk about it, but that's the true damage circle in the middle of the ult. That scales pretty heavily off of your AD, so it is really, really powerful. And when you are getting lane swept on, not only are you not getting any gold, you're not getting any passive gold, you're not getting any silver serpents.
Yep, definitely need those huge power budget actually put into those. So we see kind of camping on the brush down on the bomb side, Impact sneaking in, trying to get there for some experience, but those minions are pretty far away from dying still, so his counter-strike goes up, and I think he avoided, it looks like on the mini-map, avoided letting them fully proc that Braum passive.
Maybe not, though. He just took a big chunk of health, but Burdol on the top side might just be going down. Core does not have Ignite, but he is going to W for it and force the flash out here. Burdol did start W, but still going to be a really tough position. Impact on the bot side, trying to get some of this experience. Looks like he will be able to survive easily towards that level 2 here. He's got a lot of early XP. He has the biscuit, has already popped a potion to try to keep his health high, and Burdol tried to get back to tower. We're going to see if he's going to be able to survive here. He's got no flash. He's trying to survive with the W. Eats some oranges, stays alive, gets first blood on Core, who took one turret shot too many. They're going to look for the redive. Can they make it happen this time? Burdol going to get knocked down. Does UmTi fall? Just barely survives. Yeon gets the kill, but Burdol's going to be happy. The action not over. Mireu going mid for APA. Can't quite finish him with the pullback on the Q. He stays alive. Impact on the bot side, hits level 3. A really good start here for Isurus Estral.
Honestly, that was really good positioning from Burdol. He walks up just far enough from the turret so that CoreJJ's charge does not actually touch with the turret. Really like towing the line right there, just out of range. And so he avoids that big stun, and CoreJJ goes down for the first kill there for him. But we'll see about getting back out, because his experience is still taking a really big hit there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Impact was able to soak up so much more experience. So, you know, while they did get that kill, he still ended up going down afterwards anyways. And really, there's no bonus for a first blood anymore, because the first blood extra money was taken off in favor of the feats, and the feats are first to 3. So the experience is really the true prize.
Yeah, Core though, level 1, so there is a cost there. You know, he obviously died, even used that heal, Impact getting pushed back. And we saw the stats on the bot lane head-to-head. CoreJJ and Yeon, known as a very big point of power. I would say they're probably our strongest bot lane duo these days in the LTA North. Some arguments to be had, of course, about, you know, Busio or Masu, but we're going to get the heroic charge there from UmTi. Still level 2, by the way, so he is actually falling quite a bit behind in the experience as well. It's not just Core. They're going to be going forward, looking for Snacker. Not going to be able to actually connect with him, though. Ackerman doing a good job slowing him down, and now they get that Braum passive. Snacker is getting low, though, and has to be careful, you know, when they do get that Counter-Strike up next.
Yeah, excuse me, it was UmTi's charge, not Core's, but chasing them off afterwards here too, CoreJJ and Impact as the new duo. Able to keep their minions in a very nice place for himself as they go for the reset for the bottom lane for Isurus and try and get them on to the other side.
Yeah, and so far it's just Yeon kind of laning 1v1 up top against Burdol. Obviously, these range matchups against GP make it a lot more difficult. You can just knock down the barrels. He can't abuse you, by just kind of sitting in the minion wave with those barrels ready to reset the passive autos, where a lot of his power is. That Trial by Fire is so strong on GP, but he's saved up these barrels, and we'll see how much of this he can get. Ooh, not enough, unfortunately, to actually kill off either of those melee minions. And we'll be able to grab the cannon. Yeon, though, doing a pretty good job here and getting a lot of experience. Well, Snacker has just been glued to Ackerman, so he's going to be falling behind as far as that XP is concerned. Yeah,
really nice for Kaisa to be able to have this good of an early lane here. Lots of solo experience into this champ is also very, very valuable. So he's doing a good job keeping up a lot of this harassment here. You see how much punishment he's putting down in that 1v1.
Maybe in some trouble here. Does throw the seismic shove. Looks like he can get out of range of Mireu.
All right, they barely are able to slip back around. Gromp secured as well for UmTi, so he keeps up his farm, no problem. Still is going to mean Jose starts up the dragon for them.
Looking for the dive, maybe on top side, though. Burdol could be in some trouble. Core tanking it up, but Yeon looked like he wanted to back out. Well, Core was thinking he wanted to stay in. They do chunk Burdol down pretty low, but now with Yeon out of mana, no way you're pulling off this dive.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of extra damage here. The TL duo at this tower. Burdol dancing around under there is going to be a Void Grubs, the trade on the other side. Meanwhile, on the other side, Impact, I don't think he's that worried about the dive, so see if they can actually just finish these off. Vi can just continue to clear bottom side camps instead.
Yep, going to be pretty happy about that. UmTi going to be able to grab the grubs. We'll see if it's going to be a 3-pack here for them. As Mireu pushing back CoreJJ there. Trying to play around here with APA, who was under some pressure in this matchup in the early levels.
And Jose really has been a star here in LTA Seoul as well, and he's doing very well this game. After Krugs as well, cleaning these up. Getting a lot of farm racked up on the Vi, even though as junglers, you want to be the team that is the one doing the grubs, because you get so many more rewards for those grubs in the terms of experience for yourself and gold. But the Dragon, quite nice for the team. And there you go. Jose has been doing a lot of work as far as damage percentage for his team, #1 for junglers, as well as this CS difference that we're seeing this game as well, him eking out over UmTi.
Yeah, exactly. He's really known as one of those guys that can show up to the team fights, farm heavy style, put himself in a good position to succeed. Impact now pushing down on this bottom side as APA is going to get some deep vision, trying to track where Jose is. I think he was spotted by that ward up on the top side, so they get that info. Burdol now has level 6 and has the ultimate available. This would be a tough dive to make happen, but they're going to actually look for it. The plasma is applied. Yeon not going to use the killer instinct to go back in. They just wanted to try to get the orange out there from Burdol, and he's going to have to back it off. Probably just going to use the ulti here and just be able to try to get some plates up on top side. But Jose is behind APA, and it looks like IE might want to make a play of their own. Wallbreaker charging up. Are they going to go for it? Here comes the ulti in on APA, but he's just sliding out to safety. Nicely timed there from APA, but he cannot connect on that seismic shove. UmTi now coming. Are they going to be able to find him? Stuns him into the wall and going to be able to knock him down. A beautifully timed Weaver's wall there from APA.
Because APA was expecting that as they're moving up. He thinks they're going to dive him. Bottom side, Burdol still taking more and more damage down here. Poked under tower, but doesn't get knocked up.
Yeah, Core going to be taking this up. Can he actually survive? Burdol tries to flash out of there, can't survive. Yeon able to knock him down. TL coming up big in mid and bot.
So good though, as you're shouting out APA, because he's expecting it, he's hovering the bottom side because he thinks they're going to come over from the Raptor side, and just as you appear, immediately ult. Not enough distance there for Vi to close, and so APA can get back into all chats immediately because him and Jose have been going back and forth, and so nice little play right there from him. Vi getting dragged really deep under tower. So, see, this is what I'm talking about. The positioning far away gives him the time to get off the ultimate and drag Jose so far under. TL, they have done so many lane swaps so many times that even as mid lane, he's expecting that play. So, nicely done there. And he... It also looks really funny,
it's really
too.
Cool.
And whenever you can do that versus a Vi, as we get a little bit of a Raptor debate here, but the end of that does go to Jose as he finishes it off.
Raptor kerfuffle, if you will.
We're debating who's going to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Love the chat as well. APA goes, you love me? It's a bit.
Maybe a bit less now after that play.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually seen that exact interaction, until you all timed that well. Was really, really nice to see. UmTi now looking down on the bot side. Mireu does give him the angle to get the stun, but UmTi is tanking this tower up. He might go down to this last shot. It's going to be a flash forward from Mireu. Gets the kill. Going to be trying to dodge around from APA. Can he make it happen in the 1v2? He cannot, but he gets a kill. Really nice play there, and that's going to get them a bit of momentum, a bit of confidence, and forces out the TP there from APA, who was nervous about the reinforcements.
Yeah, they saw the Braum and the Vi heading down towards him, so he wanted to get out there, not give over the extra kill, thanks to Aurora antics. Meanwhile, it does open up mid lane here. You have CoreJJ and Yeon kind of on the move again. They've had eyes for Burdol this whole game, and even though impact is low, pushing up, the duo is here.
Yeah, those oranges looking juicy. They're going to see if they can knock down Burdol. They're able to get the kill. Impact survives. Low health, low mana. Doesn't even matter. They do get the cleanse out with the Ashe ult as well from Snacker, but can't hold him in place for Mireu to arrive and try to get a kill back. It's just been non-stop pressure on this GP, like you said. really making his life difficult. I feel like he's handled the pressure pretty well also. I mean, he got that first blood. He's doing as well as he can, but it always feels like IE's a little bit late to the play. You need the support to actually move and try to cover in some of these situations. But APA going to be battling here against Mireu, trying to clear out that wave and get the tower on him. Can't quite do it. Mireu trying to run, but he has no flash. And this is going to be a tough escape here, but APA taking some damage back. APA flashing forward, does get the kill. Nice seismic shove on Ackerman. Going to try to survive here, but in comes Jose. Jose trying to look to finish off this kill. Can't actually go for it because of the W there from Poppy. The GP ulti has to get used. Does get the shutdown onto APA, so Burdol is going to get paid at the end of the day.
That's some good money for the Gangplank with the shutdown, but it leaves a lane open, Isaac. Bottom side, there is no teleport, no Gangplank ultimate to clear out those minion waves that Impact is pushing in. And so Team Liquid, you know, in the end, APA goes down, but he got his kill before he died anyway, so it's a lot of resources from Isurus Estral, and TL win out on the macro here. Look at that picture-in-picture of Impact like we're talking about, just slamming away at that turret down there. In the end, Burdol isn't able to push in towards the top tower himself too, so he gets a little bit something there, but UmTi working away on as many grubs as he can. Yeah. He uses the smite there, but there's no smite close.
Oh, don't lose it to Burdol. Don't lose it to Burdol. Okay, that was actually making me pretty nervous. Burdol, though, going to get knocked up, has the barrels down, but he has walked way too far out with no one anywhere close to him on the map except TL members, and he finds out the bad news. 4 of them collapse. They knock him down. Didn't know there was 4 grubs in a pack.
Yeah, four grubs and a bonus Gangplank, or the weird, funny-looking grub he is. Meanwhile, mid lane, they just rotate Impact over there to try and deal with the push, which means that now TL do have an open bottom lane, but they're going to be the ones to grab the turret for themselves as well. So both side lane turrets taken care of to open up a lot of room for Team Liquid to work with. And the gold lead that they wield is going to be substantial. You would think that then third dragon will be where they set up and try and put a stop to that dragon stacking. But here we go, Impact going in.
Yeah, going back in with the Counter-Strike. Does have 3 stacks of that Braum passive, and in goes Jose trying to help finish him off. The Ashe arrow comes through, doesn't actually connect on Impact, but I don't think it matters. Jose going to be able to knock him down, i.e. make a play on the bot side.
Okay, let's see. What can they do with the numbers advantage now? Ashe arrow invested and Vi ultimate, so just a little counter jungling on the way out. Actually going to leave it because doesn't want to overstay and mess up tempo here. A little bit worried about what APA can do on the Taliyah. By the way, APA has put in so much work with this Taliyah during Team Liquid's rise, you know, last year, you know, especially playoffs plus MSI, like they were spamming this champion, and he very clearly, you know, just so comfortable on it.
Oh, Impact is chasing because Yeon is actually on the move up here. And remember, Burdol has no towers. This is going to be tough for him to survive. Landing all of these barrels, though, onto Impact. He's got to turn and fight. Doesn't necessarily know it. And Yeon, though, is he going to get the plasma applied? In goes the killer instinct, and now Burdol in so much trouble. Drops the ulti. The cannon barrage comes down, but can Jose make anything happen? Because he's missing an ultimate of his own. Trying to threaten with the Q. Knows he can't make it happen in the 1v2. It's a good chase down at the end of the day fair from TL. And now they're looking to threaten mid. UmTi trying to wrap around here on a Snacker.
Defense comes in, are going to push them off, but I think the last play we just saw is going to be the story of this game. It is Yeon on this Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
Incredibly fed so early because of the way the lane swap worked out, and then he was solo lane Kai'Sa up there versus the Gangplank. Yeon has a massive gold lead, plus more experience than usual because of going up there solo. So we'll see. He actually out-levels the Gangplank at the moment. Meanwhile, a little bit of jungle defense going on here.
Mireu coming in. We're going to see if they can actually catch UmTi. One more stack of the passive would stun him up, but they didn't get that final auto. Core doing a good job healing him up, charming him up as best as he possibly can, but now he is done. Going to have to dash out to safety. UmTi looking, threatening with the ulti, but both teams will just disengage.
All right, a little bit dangerous there. Some cooldowns exchanged, but no blood actually drawn here. Meanwhile, I want to see the next Aurora ultimate, because we just got a little sight there, but with flash, with teleport available, and it is rank 2 ultimate now, he should get it back fairly quickly, even not going for that Malignance build. Still should have a big playmaking potential here for Isurus Estral.
Yeah, and they're going to have to utilize that, right? He has been kind of that point of power. Was able to make that 1v2 outplay happen in the bottom, forced an early flash from APA. Mireu has been stepping up for them, but he's going to need to get a lot more done because, again, even though they've been winning some skirmishes here and there, it is TL up 2,000 gold here. It's TL with 6 scrubs, and it's TL in a good position to stop that dragon stacking. Snacker and Ackerman trying to punish Impact here. Good timing on the counter-strike right as that final auto came in to stun him. Not going to allow it to happen.
APA also teleported over, thinking there was going to be the full commitment here, and they're just going to go over to the Rift Herald right now. It looks like Gangplank walking up 2 does mean possible fight here as they look for the engage. Ackerman trying to get some vision down, face checks it, drops his control ward here in the side brush.
Yeah, Burdol on the side, going to be threatening UmTi. We'll see who engages first here. Burdol going to get spotted out, but Mireu is coming in. Nice little chunk there onto Core, trying to soften him up for potential hard engage here. Ackerman able to sidestep another seismic shove. UmTi trying to dip dodge and dive, trying to get out of there. Good W, keeps him safe for now. In comes the Weaver's Wall. APA, though, kind of split from the team, and APA in an awkward spot, going to get tagged by the Ashe ulti, and he's in a lot of trouble, but he flashes out to safety. UmTi and Impact into the backline. They've killed off Mireu, but it's now Impact isolated from the rest of the squad. He's going to get knocked down as well. It's TL losing 1, and it's 1 on the other side, but in goes them on to Josedeodo. A great engage from Core, and the follow-up was there from APA and Yeon. Gets another kill, but now Ackerman knocking them up. APA has no flash this time and no way out. IE win out in the fight at the end of the day. It's 2 for 2, but they have the health bars.
Yeah, it's getting scrappy here, and they're going to be able to push in with those health bars, the extra little advantage. Even have the Demolish to try and burst through it. Gets very, very low, but Dragon spawning in 27 seconds, so taking some recalls here to reset to quite possibly fight that one as well.
Oh,
UmTi even wrapping around. Teleport flank does come through.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually chase him down. UmTi is here, but he's relatively low. Ackerman is the target for now. UmTi has to play this low. Core is just down already. Impact in a flash follow. There's the parry. Isn't enough for Snacker. Snacker is surviving. Snacker gets the stun off, and they're going to knock down Impact. That's not the Impact he wanted. The teleport comes in from Burdol. UmTi is in a lot of trouble as well. He's trying to get out of here. Jose is there to follow, as is Mireu. They get another shutdown as the dragon spawns. Yes, sir, we'll take that too. Moving to Seoul Point here. IE roar to life, and the fans are loving it.
They wipe TL off the map. The teleport in from Impact and Ackerman. Oh, man. Well, actually, wait. They have to actually stop this dragon because APA moved in, chases Jose out the back.
Mireu looking for this bot tower. Should be able to knock it down. They got the mid tower. The top one is incredibly low, and Jose now back on the dragon here. UmTi just respawning now. Impact has no TP.
And he's going top.
Yeah, he's going top. It looks like UmTi's walking down towards bot side. And we'll see if they get any eyes on this. I mean, Core is just hanging around, but it's more to cover APA than it is to threaten the dragon, I think. Ashe ult going to get ripped off there towards APA, but Core spotted, and that allowed APA to respond. Mireu in some trouble now. They're going to look for the hard engage onto him. Great CC there from Core into the seismic shove, and Mireu went a bridge too far. Feeling confident, gets knocked down by the Kaisa. 5 kills and 2 assists, no deaths to Yeon's name.
Yeah, right there, they're looking for a little bit too much because they didn't have full vision coverage. So they're trying to get Dragon while looking for the pick on the side lane on APA because they know APA has no flash. But it's just 1 kill that they give back over, and they'll be still very happy to get to their Dragon Soul Point number 3 acquired. Or, oh, wait a second. As we push down, there might be an extra price to that play.
Yeah, we'll see. The GP ulti is getting dropped. They're trying to knock down this tower, but it's taking them quite some time. AP getting very low, actually, to that cannon barrage. They're going to have to back it up. Maybe.
6 grubs, baby.
We'll be able to finish it off. It's just finally, you can see that there's a play over towards the top side, though, as they're trying to look to threaten Impact. TL do brute force that tower down, get some more gold in their pockets here. But kind of out of nowhere, Snacker is now 4-0 on the Ashe. He was miles behind the Kaisa, and now has gotten right back into it. They're trying to focus the tower. Impact knows it, and he's going to have to run. Both AD carries really are in a position to carry. I mean, it's Yeon, sure, he's in a great spot, but he's only a couple hundred gold ahead now. And not too long ago, he was about 1,500, 1,600 gold ahead.
Yeah, it's this fight right here for Snacker that is huge for him. They pop CoreJJ instantly, and then he flashes under tower. He's still at his barrier. Impact could not get through the full barrier and finish him off. And the Braum stuns are so annoying, frustrating there for Impact.
I've also got to say, Impact clicked backwards one time on that final auto. I think he felt, you know what, this last auto kills him for sure. I got to be moving out of tower range. Then realized, oops, didn't kill him. If that's a click forward, I think he at least trades his life. He still dies, but he maybe gets that kill. Core going to be getting pushed out here by Ackerman, at least until APA comes in. Is able to land the seismic shove as Mireu threatening. by the wall, but nothing further will happen. Impact's just going to be back towards that side lane looking to push, but Burdol has opened up, an 800 gold lead in that 1v1 despite all of the pressure that was thrown towards him. He's up farm, he's been getting plates, and Burdol is in a pretty comfortable spot now.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly intense game right now. Pretty good spot for IE.
Jose gonna look. It's not actually interrupted there. And there's the Ashe arrow to follow onto UmTi. UmTi's in a world of hurt now, but he's still surviving. And Yeon's into the backline. Everyone comes in. TL collapse like the Avengers. And IE get torn to shreds. Jose sent running into the jungle. Mireu has to run as well. Thankfully for IE, there's no objective to grab right off the back of it, but still, TL made that collapse happen so fast.
He's gonna go, pops the Herald, gonna go jump on in it as well for the ride out.
Wait,
he's riding in.
Okay, well.
The shield, then gets the pop. Doesn't even have to drive it away. Could just get that shield pop out the back. While TL are taking Otacon though, so that buff will be huge. I mean, you said it. The Avengers collapse here in the mid lane. Yeon, big advantage there with the Kai'Sa, is able to zoom in for the extra support there, and TL will get some pretty big rewards out of it. Impact now in the side lane, not going to push anywhere too far. Honestly, pretty big turnaround here as they all again send Yeon to the top side. I mean, still has yet to die on the Kai'Sa. Nashor's Tooth pretty close to completion for him as well.
Might even have it. He's sitting, not quite, but he's sitting on a lot of gold. He's going to be very, very close to actually getting it. And I mean, I just have got to be so careful, because when you look for these fights, Killer Instinct range plus the Weaver's Wall, they can arrive so quick, even if they're a couple screens away. So you really have to track where everyone on TL is, or get that instant kill before they can come in. It was great CC chain onto UmTi, but he's still a poppy at the end of the day and was very tanky and tough to take down.
Yeah, have to say APA on the Taliyah as well. Not only his walls, but also a lot of these seismic shoves in these fights have been quite accurate from him. So 1-3-1 from Team Liquid. Split push begins. Both side lanes getting pushed in, and the Dragon coming in over 40 seconds, so they have plenty of time here. Actually going to rotate down to Impact to the bottom lane to make sure they can just set up full vision leading to that Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, TL really want to get something more here with the Otacon. Impact almost gets knocked down. False Life will not proc, so he will stay alive. TL likely to be able to get this Dragon thanks to the Otacon buff, but still, it's not the biggest prize to grab off the back of it. They haven't been able to force any sort of a big fight to really be able to extend the advantage. At the end of the day, IE still sitting only 1,000 gold behind, and they're at Soul Point.
Yeah, not the biggest benefit for TL, but good denial to deny that Soul and not have to worry about getting drawn into a minefield of Gangplank barrels, because you can definitely see a world where if IE can push out first and set up around the Dragon, Gangplank setting up with brush advantage is just devastating to try and walk into. Even with just Trinity Force and Collector, really have to start to worry about all these barrel chains that he can set up ahead of time. So face checking becomes very difficult, and we'll see if TL can continue to try and play some good 1-3-1, spread the map, and utilize the distance that Yeon can cover with Kai'Sa Ultimate, who he's, by the way, is already level 15, highest level on his team and in the entire game here on this Kai'Sa, and they keep sending him to side lane too, and so you're going to get rank 3 of your ultimate pretty quickly there for him as well. So he's got the gold, he's got the levels, he's got the Nashor's Tooth completed as well.
He's got the skills to turn it into a victory. We'll see if he can make it happen, but I mean, Core and Yeon have been so good for TL this year, and in a split that has felt like a bit of a regression, a bit of a step back. They have been stepping forward. Exactly, for TL as a whole, Yeon and Core have still been that really, really strong presence for them, and have been that shining star in the bot lane. Nice little chunk there from UmTi, just being annoying, but knows he's never going to have enough damage to 100-0 Mireu in that spot, so just takes the little damage that he can get and backs off. We can see Burdol not going to be going towards an IE, likely just going to be shield bow third. And that's always kind of the debate, can you afford to go full squishy and look for that kind of big one-shot with the barrels, or do you need to go a little bit tankier from a third, fourth item and just try to be able to stay alive to actually keep getting that damage out?
Yep. Got to balance a little bit. Meanwhile, the remnants of this mid lane tower are going to be used to get the cleanse out of Yeon. So he gets kind of drawn up, wants to pressure the tower. Ashe arrow traded for cleanse at that close distance.
Yep, going to be able to get that cleanse out. And we'll see if they can actually punish that. Snacker has been positioning well, has only gone down the one time. Ackerman going very far forward, though, going to let the ulti rip here onto UmTi. But again, he is so damn tanky. They need to proc this stun. They can't do it just yet. And in comes the Weaver wall. APA has arrived. The impact is there as well. He's on Jose, and Jose's in trouble. Can they turn it around? Snacker firing in the backline, trying to get up onto UmTi. Can they actually chase him down? UmTi has to flash to safety. APA throwing out those threaded volleys for safety. Impact backing off from Burdol as he loses that skirmish. TL survived, but it does feel like Isurus giving as good as they got in that one.
Most certainly in that one. I mean, you saw Yeon get chunked down. Yeon now, this big carry we've been highlighting, no summoner spells on the Kai'Sa. I think that was actually a dub for IE, even though, yeah, they don't get any kills. Getting both summoners off of Yeon is quite huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, you could see no one could threaten Snacker whatsoever. He's on 3 full items now himself. We do have that large rod done for Yeon. I'm expecting him to go Zhonya's next just to be able to answer against the Vi. It's such a classic answer there. But we are going to see another little skirmish here. Jose getting caught out, and he's going to go back in with the ulti, but it's probably just to give a kill over. And that is trouble now because Impact's going to TP in. They are going to try to force this Baron. Very, very likely. They're in the area. Maybe going to look for a turn first. Burdol is coming. Ackerman trying to get that vision for his team. Snacker pushing up mid with Mireu. And UmTi is going to get a good denial. Knocks Burdol back to base. They're just trying to focus and burn this down. Can they actually make a play happen? Snacker's got to step up big, and he has to do it right now, but he can't even get close. UmTi trying to grab the scuttle on the way out. Not going to be able to get it. Maybe stayed a little bit too long. There's a stun over on Yeon. Killer instinct from him. Shield up from CoreJJ on the side. Burdol flashing forward, trying to make it happen here, but it's a stasis for APA, and APA survives. A 1K shutdown does come through, though, and now it's the chase being on here from IE. TL overstayed their welcome. They grabbed the Baron, but they wanted the scuttle too, and they give over the kills for it.
That scuttle might have been way too much there. IE, what can they push down afterwards? CoreJJ will be the only Baron buff left on Team Liquid, and IE are going to get solo tower gold there on the side. All right, so UmTi does go in, takes a decent chunk of damage, and they have the Ashe arrow back up. They go straight for Yeon, who they know has no more summoners. Yeon does use the ultimate to dodge back into the pit, but that's back into the pit, and Burdol flashes forward, gets in there so he can sacrifice to make sure that they can get that chase, make sure that he can get that shutdown onto the Kai'Sa, onto Yeon, deliver Yeon his first death.
Yep, going to be able to get that first kill, and it was a 1K shutdown. Going over.
Lord Dom's here, baby.
Yeah.
That is 3-item Gangplank.
Yeah, Gangplank looking really strong, and it does elect to go for a more aggressive build, and it's going to be that Lord Dom's, as he called out. Death Cap now done for Mireu as well. You can see some Zhonya's coming through. You know, APA has his completed. Yeon not with gold to buy his Seekers just yet. And Impact starting to fall behind quite a bit on this Jax. Has been one of the things that I've been critical of him at times, is he's such a team player that sometimes on these carries you really need to be greedy for yourself to put yourself in that good position. He is just on 2 items with some scraps building towards the Zhonya's himself, but they're playing the 1-3-1. And this Dragon is going to be key. If IE can win a fight here, we'll see if they can make it happen. Core is going to be able to dash out to safety. Nice interrupt from UmTi. Just pops that steadfast presence, keeps them safe. And APA had to use his teleport. This Dragon here spawning in a couple seconds. Both teams very healthy. Core the only one who really has taken much chunk. Impact trying to threaten a potential flank, but not sure if he's strong enough to do it.
No.
Oh, he's spotted. They're going to try to chase him down. Burdol lands the Q. He's slowed up. The counter-strike coming through. He's going to try to turn this around, but he is a man on a mission. They're just going to try to burn the Dragon. Can they actually kill it in time? They need to kill this, and they need to run right now. They pull off the highest impact intelligently, just buying some space after he was caught. He doesn't try to force his team into a fight, just accepts his death, accepts the mistake, and they get a Dragon out of it.
Ooh, this game is dicey. There was no Aurora ultimate. There was no Ashe arrow for that one. They do deny, as you say, the Dragon soul to IE, but the next fight, I mean, honestly, could go either way depending on the setup. Burdol, after that big shutdown, he's got to be feeling really good. So much damage here, so much burst potential on this team.
That is crazy. 3K individual advantage there for Burdol over Impact. Impact is going to really struggle to actually put pressure on. I mean, you're also fighting through a Braum with Locket, with Guardian, you know, the W armor and MR as well. Like, he has heal. Like, this is a super defensive setup.
And their team fight is just massive here on the side of IE. So it puts pressure on TL to try and make picks, try and, you know, spread the map, play some more 1-3-1. And they need to try and spread IE apart. If IE are set up in a front to back with Gangplank barrels and Braum in front, then it looks very, very, very good for them. couple of Zonias have been completed for APA and Yeon for some possible playmaking and diving in here. So we'll see about that.
Yep, Death App almost done for APA as well. Just needs to combine gold, so needs a couple hundred more gold, and we'll be able to grab that pretty soon, which would be a massive purchase for them. He's one of the richest, if not the richest person on TL at this point. Yeah, right up there with Yeon, just a couple hundred gold apart. It's going to really be on the TL carries to make it happen. Impact, I don't think is going to have much of one in this game.
All right, let's see. Creeping around.
They're looking for the hard engage. There's Killer Instinct in on a Burdol. Burdol may be tanky, but he's not tanky enough. It's a shutdown going the other way. You get one on Yeon. Yeon gets one right back on you.
APA and CoreJJ, they set Yeon up. They get the pick on the Gangplank. The massive gold holder that we were just gushing over for Isurus Estral taken off the map. Let's see what TL can do during this power play moment.
Yeah, they're pushing through all of the lanes here. You can see APA playing defensively around mid. UmTi trying to threaten on the side as they're waiting for that mini wave to come in top lane. Impact needs to be responded to down in bot lane. IE looking a little bit like they want to try to force an engage, but they've got to send someone to answer here pretty quick, or Impact's going to be allowed to access that tower. Mireu going down to be the one to try to clear this out, and Snacker can do the same in the top lane. So for now, IE not punished further than just the kill from the gold.
Yep, no extra objectives out there for TL to take, so they just keep up the pressure for a little bit longer, and that's about it. They do, every time they do this though, they keep leaving behind more wards in jungle, so they can look for, you know, picks in transition though. That's the whole goal here. They pulled off a pick there, but can they do another one on a critical timing when Baron is closer to spawning and actually get some bigger rewards here? So Isurus Estral, #1 thing, move with safety here as they go up and get their vision leading to Baron.
Oh, look at Burdol down on the bot side. A lot of pings spotting out that APA was actually hovering behind Impact again. They're trying to prey on this Gangplank. Is very rich, but has died 7 times this game, so has shown that he can be picked on in these side lanes. APA and Core playing around here with Snacker and Burdol, while Impact pushes through bot. Again, they need to get someone down to answer him in a wave or two, and APA is just trying to be this nuisance and stop IE from being able to have short paths safely down towards that bot side.
All right, still TL not able to have enough resources to actually clear out any of these wards around Baron. Plus the Scuttle Crab will be lasting for Isurus Estral, so they feel fine about that one. And it's just going to be the push and the waiting game continuing here before we can get some extra leverage and actually push it over the edge. I mean, they have mid lane push, and they already have the pre-existing wards.
That going to stop the recall there, but obviously can't commit to an all-in, down a full item. Will get difficult for Jose now. There's Zonias, or at least Seekers, on pretty much everyone you would want to target.
Yeah, he doesn't have very many great targets, but the Dragon is coming up as well in, 38-ish seconds now for them. So we'll see, because that is a big advantage for Isurus Estral, since they're still the ones with threatening the Dragon Soul, but now they have the luxury of Baron also being on the map and being able to threaten 2 areas here versus TL.
Yeah.
TL though,
we'll see if they actually want to get in there. They're trying to sneak over, but they didn't clear the pit, so they don't know that they have been spotted.
but it burns so fast.
Yeah, it's just going down incredibly fast. I'm not sure if they're going to even be able to get there to respond. There comes the Ashe here. UmTi just trying to play bodyguard here and keep Jose away, but Jose's at the pit too, and he's going to steal it. Takes it away from UmTi. Dies for it, but how much more can they get? UmTi couldn't keep out of the pit, and now Ackerman comes in with Snacker. They want to try to chase. They want to take off these Baron buffs. Burdol on the side threatening, but Burdol may be in some trouble. In comes APA with the Weaver's Wall, and he's looking for Burdol, who's going to flash out to safety. Ackerman throws down the ulti just to get him out. Stay down, Mr. President. Keeping that GP safe is the name of the game. APA and UmTi trying to wrap around. APA trying to get the Weaver's Wall down. Trying to get that seismic shove down. Is going to be able to land it. Mireu trying to go aggressive. It's multiple members there, tearing them apart. And now Impact trying to flash in. Gets it on 2. And it's the seismic shove coming through from APA that's going to finish them off. A massive play there from Impact and APA. The Soul Lander's coming up massive for TL.
Oh, it's insanity! And the Dragon is available, so they need to reset and get over there. Get a smite over towards that Dragon. That is Soul. Let's take a look at the path that Jose takes. The Tuki play right through UmTi, and then UmTi heads back to the Baron to try and get a position for it as well, and Jose gets it 94 health!
Oh my god.
He Qs over the side of it, steals away the Baron, but then the follow-through from Team Liquid, Impact doesn't want to let them get away with it, so they section off the fight, getting some big resources out here. First, the Burdol flash and the Braum ultimate critical for the ensuing team fight.
Yep, and then it was just all about this play here as they chase in. Impact is able to find a moment here, pops the counter-strike, goes in at very low health here, flash forward, catching both of those carries. Massive. The seismic shove placed perfectly from APA, flips them both in and knocks them down. And there is the double coach cam. You can see the initial reactions of joy there from Isurus Estral. That was the Baron steal. And now we're waiting to see the pop off on the other side. But we got to go back to live because this game is still going on.
That was so hype. Jose gets in there, steals away the Baron, but then TL don't let IE kind of reset and get away with it. And since Jose was down after that, chasing through, getting the extra ones, but looks like during our replays and everything.
TL maybe wanting to try to engage. They knock out Ackerman. Not going to find an angle, though.
All right, knock that one away. But yeah, during the replays and stuff, now we're evened out. 3 dragons for everybody. Cloud Soul on the table for everybody.
I mean,
in 4
TL
minutes.
is going to be swift if they get 4 Cloud Dragons, all the out-of-combat move speed, plus the actual Cloud Soul. Or is, again, just trying to position the threaten on the side here. They have Impact pushing up top. Mireu down on that bot side, going to be answered here by APA. Does mean he is sectioned off from the team. Has the Verdant Barrier now purchased, so very difficult to engage on someone with Zhonya's end that. And Yeon still trying to collect as much gold as he can to get his death cap. He's sitting on 22, almost 2,300, so he's very close to having it when he finds time to go back to base. UmTi takes a barrel, does not like how that tastes. Loses half health in 2 hits.
Yeah, TL, they had their sights set on Burdol early on in the game. Oh, here we go, the chase through.
In a lot of trouble, Mireu trying to chase after him. Gonna go forward, does catch him with the weirding, but there's a TP in from APA to cover. The Zhonyas will keep him safe, and that was the flash from Mireu, so that's a pretty big cost to be spending. He doesn't have any defensive itemization whatsoever. Really does depend on the flash to stay safe.
Yeah, big flash. Probably bigger than the TP cooldown expenditure since it's Taliyah, and APA can just wall on over with the ultimate, and they still have Impact's teleport to be able to play their side lanes no problem anyways, so will be quite big. Of course, this is the stage of the game too where the Kaisa poke becomes unbearable. It is full item Yeon here, plus the potion on top of it, to really make those W pokes hurt. So let's see how many he can land to try and soften them up first.
Yeah, lands the first one, second gonna miss. Burdol trying to look with the barrel, won't be able to find it. Snacker as well is full build, has the GA, so you gotta kill him twice.
Side lanes becoming a problem as well. Again, the 1-3-1 from Team Liquid. Taliyah and Jax split push, gets the minions pushing in their advantage. So Isurus Estral gonna have to fire off the recalls, get back to base as the minions crash.
We need to see Burdol really having an impact in these team fights. It's very hard to play GP properly in team fights. You know, you want to be close to land the barrels, but if you're too close, you can just get burst down. You know, you really need to play it properly and land some of these triple barrel combos where you can reach backline, because he's the one who has all of their gold, right? You know, they're up 1.6k, but he has a 3,000 advantage. So, and without him, they don't really have that much going on. So we'll see if they can actually make something happen and find an angle to really get that success out of their top laner, who has had a pretty good game so far. TL just kind of playing around with IE in their jungle here, trying to control vision. Ashe are going to be sent up towards top. APA knows it, is able to backstep, stay safe, uses the Weaver's Wall to escape.
Yep. CoreJJ has a Mikhail's, but he's usually hovering around Yeon, so the side lane players do have to be wary of getting picked off like that. So immediately going to get out to safety here. But I mean, we're in for another banger with another Baron coming soon. So set up for another Baron already. Jose planting his feet here in the banana brush in river. See if they can get their control wards down and set up. Maybe allow Gangplank some early positioning in the objective. It makes playing those team fights so much easier for him, as you're kind of mentioning. Jose goes for a pick.
Oh, they're going to drop the ulti, and Mireu has so much damage. UmTi is just gone, and that is right in time for this Baron to spawn here in 10 seconds. IE make a big play. The question now, do TL bet their game on a fight here? Are they going to try to contest? Snaker moving forward, trying to push them back here with the volley. Yeon going to be poking, doesn't find his target so far. Impact still pushing up bot side, but Burdol is there to answer. Do TL look for the fight? Impact in a lot of trouble. Has to run immediately from Burdol. Just cannot stand up in this 1v1. Core still in the area. They decide, you know what? It's not worth it. If we risk it and we lose here, the game is over. They're going to try to delay around this dragon, but still, UmTi won't be up for about 20 seconds, and the dragon's spawning in 3.
Yeah, I mean, that pick was everything, Azael. Jose gets the pick onto UmTi, and the rewards are everything. Baron and Dragon Soul. Unless Steel can force a fight.
They come in. They're going to look for Mireu. Remember, he has no flash, but they couldn't get in range. APA trying to get some damage over the wall, but it is secured. The TP comes in from Impact. Can they get anyone on the way out? Doesn't look like it. Baron, Seoul, all from the pick on UmTi.
All right, they're going to head down mid. Burdol by himself. He does have flash if he sees the rest of the members pressuring.
Yeah, Core has no ulti as well. He used that trying to chase after Mireu. Couldn't actually get in range. And now UmTi respawns, and he may be going right back to the fountain. He gets hit by the Ashe arrow. Flashes over the wall, but only to die. It's UmTi dead again, just as he comes back from the grave.
And you can't try and base race versus Baron buff. They got to get back here. i.e. they're going to demolish this bottom turret, the inhibitor as well.
Yeah, and you can see that Burdol is actually chasing Yeon. Yeon can't get back to base. This is going to be very difficult. Yeon is still running away, and now it's going to be a TP in here from Burdol. They're trying to end the game right here, right now. Can TL make the stand? Josedeodo knocks down the first tower. Burdol arrives, and Yeon is still basing. Impact going to go in, trying to find an angle to make something happen. In comes Yeon with the killer instinct, trying to knock down Jose. Can't quite do it. Impact has to go into the stasis. Leap strike back to the main, trying to stay safe. And Core is going to send it right here, right now. Goes forward, can't make the play happen. Yeon gets chunked out by Burdol there. Pushed back. Both Nexus towers have fallen. APA into the stasis, but it's APA zoned away from the rest of his team, and he's in so much trouble. Team Liquid had it for a while, but it's IE who stands strong. It's IE who get the pick. It's Jose popping off on stage as the LTA South get their first victory of the America stage.
Huge victory here for Isurus Estral. It goes 42.5 minutes. Getting back-to-back picks there. Baron plus Dragon Soul. They are feeling the win.
Yeah, you could see Jose in the player cams immediately standing up, popping off. The crowd was going crazy, so happy that they were able to take down Liquid. We get our first 3-game series. There was a lot of talk about Isurus Estral, how strong this team can be. They're looking good, and now let's head on over to the LTA Lounge to break down that one.
The first game win by the South, and it was a banger.
They did it! Hey, we got a series on our hands. I would have been so disappointed if it was all 2-0s. This is the best timeline to be in.
What a wild game. It did look like there was a level of control by Team Liquid until there wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, the good news is I'm wearing deodorant. I'm sweating is all I'm going to say.
Take another
Bad news is I have to stand next to him. Yeah.
It's not where I was going with this.
Go for it.
I think, to your point, Jet, they did a good job of keeping the GP down early, right? Like, even with a few mistakes that they made around the first dot, like Core taking that much turret damage, they really, really kept him, like, behind for a while. But then when it got to some more of the mid-game team fights, that's where Isurus Estral really began to take over, and the GP got back into it.
That was the thing. For me, I was confident and comfortable knowing that the gold was in Yeon's Kai'Sa. But the fights were really hard for especially Impact to navigate because in a lot of cases you're walking into Ashe Braum, and especially with the Cloud Dragons stacking, your job is pretty difficult. You try and split, you're splitting versus a GP who actually is doing quite well and is actually farming up really well. So you had to force fights, and the fights were just better from IE.
Yeah, and the setup for this, like, that's a really, really good placement on the GP ult as well. And even with
This is a turning
APA,
point.
yeah, here we go. Because Impact going in here, you think he's going to be able to get it, and then the Braum stacking gets him. And this was really, really where Isurus Estral got back into the game.
Really good patience from Snacker pretty much the whole game with his flash and barrier. It felt like he was using those at really pivotal moments in team fights, usually right after Impact would try and make his engage. And from a momentum standpoint, like there's losing a game, and then there's losing this game. Let's Let's show the Baron. Let's show the Jose steal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like after this point,
This is
UmTi's
backbreaking.
play went down even farther.
I'll start off by saying, first of all, you picked up Baron. You should just be in the mentality of just leaving.
Yeah.
The team fight is
I see.
genuinely hard, but then taking the scuttle, or at least forcing it, and then when Jax actually tried to jump in and use Counter-Strike, I was like, okay, maybe he's buying time. But they just committed to the fight, but they were a little bit half-assed.
This is the one. So UmTi, I wish we had this a little bit earlier. He used his steadfast presence and his ultimate. Couldn't stop Jose then. So Jose could actually Q over the wall rather than just holding it as TL is trying to burst the Baron. I feel like that's the backbreaker for Team Liquid in terms of their trust in their team in this game, because that is something where the Vi should never have been allowed in the pit. And then they actually make the best of the fight afterwards to actually win the fight and get the next Drake.
Yeah, that Baron setup, I mean, it's known that the Vi ultimate, you're unstoppable. So using both of those abilities is just rough from UmTi here. But you see the difference in the comps. We saw game one, the Ziggs, Estral was having difficulty actually navigating with it. This time they're fighting. Yeon has a great performance so far. Not enough to get them a win in the game too. That's a pop-off from Josedeodo as well. But this is a completely different look when we just have, like I said, Emily, bread and butter League of Legends, where we do just kind of have these team fight setups. And this guy getting the Baron was a huge turning point in the game.
Jose is such a hyphy player. Like, when he was here, he's a hyphy player. He is somebody that looks for plays and moments. Those were big moments. And so for him to show that kind of like passion after the game, hell yeah. And so when you ask questions of like, is momentum real? For that player, it is. He's going to go into the next game knowing that this comp worked, that knowing like he is, in his mind, the better player. So it's going to be really tough for Team Liquid to go into the next game thinking about the draft, thinking about just trying to reset mentally to take this series.
Another thing for TL, we saw the Corki ban come through on blue side for Isurus Estral, and I pointed out I thought that was a really good ban, the Corki and Jace. But in this, I think we've seen APA on his two best champions, right? Like you brought it up during draft. The his Taliyah performance in here was still, you could see his comfort with the pick. Now we're going to see, I'm curious to see what TL will prioritize, especially presuming that they're going to go back on blue.
Yeah, they get the choice because they lost the game, so they can choose blue if they want it.
And I just want to remind everybody how impactful this is for the new region. We are the Americas, and for a South Conference team to pick up a win, if they get the series win, there is a South team advancing to the semifinals, which, again, I think is the best reality that we could be in. And actually, I have a preview of what Rez could look like here. If they win that series, I don't know if we get a close in of that one.
It doesn't even grow that big.
Okay. Raz has been the most confident the North is going to win all 4 series. It will all come down to this next game to see if the semifinals is all Northern or if Isurus Estral can pull off what will feel like a very big upset. Game 3 is going to be up after the break.